Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So Slim Thug is back in the news again with another controversial statement. But this time, I'm on his side with this one. This is from hotnewhiphop.com, and it reads, Slim Thug calls for exclusive black ownership of black music. Quote, I don't want untouchable people who are not a part of the culture to own the culture. I want only black people to own black music. In a recent Instagram live session, Houston rapper Slim Thug stirred a controversy with bold statements. He expressed his dissatisfaction with the current state of the hip hop industry. The artist discussed a contentious topic, asserting that untouchable, you know what I mean by untouchable, right? That untouchable people should not be owners of black music. Untouchable people should own Drake. Drake is part of the untouchable community. He said those people should own their music. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't like it that those people own black music. I don't want those people who are not a part of the culture to own the culture. I want only black people to own black music. He went on to elaborate on his stance, advocating for the exclusive black ownership of black music and urging a shift away from non-black individuals holding the reins of the culture. It's just taking it back to where it used to be and where it should be. Because you remember, well, not remember because none of us that damn old, but you read and study and research, you know when music, the old music, the old rock and roll, blues, jazz, country, western, whatever, you know, black people was in the forefront of it. And the mother folk wasn't feeling it with rap music. They wasn't feeling it at first, right? But once they saw that we had a fan base and they saw they can make money off of it, they just hopped their happy butt up, tail on over and said, hey, I got the money, I got the pull, I got the connections, I can get you worldwide, nationwide publicity. You be famous beyond your wildest dreams. And we looked at that, took that and said, hey, let's do it. Because man, if I'm making this kind of money just locally, imagine what I can do with that man, you know what I'm saying, having my back. Shoot, I can make millions upon millions and millions of dollars. Problem is, that's not how it went most of the time. Problem is, they sign you have you sign a contract to where it looks good on that first page, but next thing you know, every dollar that you're supposed to get is almost like a loan because you still got to pay back studio costs, travel fees, hotel, promotional tours, wardrobe. If you did videos, manager fees, you got to pay all that stuff back until you recoup the money, which could be never. Now you had your outliers like Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, James Brown, and probably a few others like that back in the day who made sure they owned their own masters, controlled their own destiny, and made a lot of money off of it. But somehow the man still tried, somehow they found a way somehow to take a lot of their money and a lot of their stuff. But anyway, that's what the problem was. But when you look back on it, in reality, if they would have kept doing, if our people would have kept doing it the way we was doing it, underground, what they call a chitlin circuit or whatever, major money, shoot, they would have been better off just staying locally. And that's a big thing. And that's a realism in Texas. Like Slim Thug can tell you, he owned all his masters, he owned his music, he owned his product, so can't nobody take nothing from him. And he'll continue to make money, and his kids, if he have any or whatever, you know, they can continue to get paid off of his music, his catalog forever. But I remember seeing Slim Thug years ago on a Southern documentary of hip hop, of rap, and he said that, you know, This thing was independent. We talking about 10, 15 years ago, probably longer than that. Oh my, about 15 years ago. He was saying how independent is the key. It's the way. You know, you buy CDs for so much, you go put them in these stores, you sell them for a price, all that money come back to you. And you got to pay it back to the label. And you do your shows, how they used to do it back in the day. They do shows, they can have CDs at the shows, or they'll you know, put some CDs in these mom and pop record stores and give them the number and be like, hey, if y'all need more, give us a call. And they say, well, after they do shows at these colleges and stuff, they be getting the calls every day from record stores saying, hey, we need some more product. We done sold out. And then they ship it to them and they buy it. You know, first be on consignment, and after they sell so much, they just the city stores can just buy it outright. But anyway, like they were saying, you can make millions off of that. Just being in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma. So you can make, if you want to go to Alabama and stuff, and just in the South, you can become millionaires in the South if you can get your fan base. Which is true, you could be a millionaire just by traveling Texas alone. So he understands the independent business. He understands, like you say, you should own your own stuff. Them folk should not own it. And now it's probably easier because you can just stream everything, but you just still got to put yourself out there and hit them streets. It's just about hustle, standing on business. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is. You get out there hustling and get your name out there, you can make that money. But if you sign to them folk, you get your name out there, but you ain't gonna make no money. So depends on what you want. It said the rapper expressed a desire to reclaim control over the industry. He emphasized that only those who are deeply ingrained in the culture should be its custodians. We need to take the culture back, he continued. While these black people broke, we need our own music, Slim Thug's passionately declared. Slim Thug's perspective, however, doesn't stop at black music. He expanded his argument to include other racial and ethnic categories. It should be that for every race. If you're Jewish, you should own Jewish music. If you're white, you should own white music. Country music, he asserted. The rapper believes that this approach is not discriminatory, but rather a call for equality and ownership across different music genres. And like I say, I understand what he's saying, and I'm with that, because when other people own your work, you always be quote unquote a slave to them. And you ain't really free, you ain't really independent, and you just working for pennies trying to get back to where you need to be. You see so many artists out there who, after 20 years of buying their masters back, like, dude, the only reason why they're selling it back to is because all the main money has been made. You've been making pennies unless you luck up and get your song on get your song on a commercial or something, or in a movie or something. But other than that, right at this stage of the game, it's just, I don't know. It's like nothing burger. Like, really, I mean, you can own it, but still, how much money can you really make off your music if it ain't out there being pushed and played a whole lot? But you have to recall things like the Negro Baseball League, and how there was a time when we couldn't play with them folk. So a league was created, and you had these black owners and these black ball players making pretty good money just traveling around the country or the South playing ball. And you got a whole lot of black people filling up these stadiums and these stands. And then them folks said, I seem like them folk got some money. We might need to bring them all over, bring that fan base over there so we can pad our pockets. Not worried about saying, oh man, they're making their money, leave them alone, let them be happy. As long as they don't bother us and we don't bother them, it's cool. Nah, they weren't thinking like that. They was thinking greedy. And they want to take everything from us, have it their own, so they can own it. Because if you too independent, that can be a problem, because then they can't tell you nothing. They can't control you. So it's all about a control thing. He said, while Slim Thug didn't call out specific individuals, he expressed support for Dame Dash, a figure known for his confrontations with non-black music executives during his tenure at Rockefeller Records. Thug commended Dash for standing up against what he perceived as culture vultures in the industry. So we don't want culture vulturing. We don't want people culture vulturing us, he said. We're going at all the culture vultures. That's why they tried to push Dame Dash to the side. Dame Dash was right. He was standing on business. The rapper's perspective supports his call for ownership rights among ethnic groups. Now, you had people who were on his side said it sounded racist, which you always got them folk who just don't really understand where we be coming from. And then you have people who supported him, like myself. I think, regardless if you're black, white, untouchable, Hispanic, whatever, I think you should control your work. Period. You should own it, control it, be able to do whatever you want to with it freely without any kind of handcuffs or red tape behind it. That's just how it should be. But especially if you're not a part of a culture, but you're getting rich off that culture. What was that, Livecoin? When Charlamagne tried to check him about the music that he's putting out, and he was like, man, I got kids to feed. I got kids in college. I tell you right there, he don't care about you. He trying to get rich. You can destroy yourself. It don't matter because he ain't listening to your music. He ain't in your neighborhoods living. He, got the big house. Probably got the big houses all over the world, doing his thing, and just want you to keep on creating this destructive music. But we do need to change that music, though. We got to get back to the old school to where there's a lot of diversity, and that's done because by those people that, like I say, who control what music you listen to and know that destructive and elementary and music that got no content. He knows that's what it sells because it's simple. So they'll do it and they'll push it and make all that money and laughing in the background. But real quick, we're going to have an example of how being independent and owning your own stuff is very important. Now, this is from yahoo.com. And matter of fact, this came out yesterday, and it says, Ray J says going independent and creating one wish saved him after receiving a loan from his parents. It's one of the most profitable assets that we have. Now, let me see, go down. Talks about his sister. Talks about how he started doing acting gigs. First passion was always music. His breakthrough hit One Wish would be released as the first single from his third album under his independent record label Knockout Entertainment 2005. To this day, Ray J reveals is one of his most profitable assets. He said wouldn't have seen a lot of day without the support of his mother and his father, which is what we have to do. If you're going to go independent, if we're going to wash our hands of other cultures and take back anything that we want to control, a lot of us are going to have to take a step back financially, and I don't think a lot of us are ready to make that move. It's scary to have everything and risk losing it all, but eventually you can build it back up. Because right now it's good. You make you some songs, do you some shows, got your nice house, cars, money, phones. But after a while, somebody else is going to come up and be the higher act. And the question is, what are you going to be doing 10, 20, 30 years from now? Are you going to take the Jay-Z route, be able to get into other businesses, Ray J route, Young Jeezy, getting real estate, things of that nature? That's what Slim Thug, that's what you're going to have to look at. Because them folks going to take all their resources and stuff from you, which means that we would have to support each other in order to help each other grow. It says this was a singer's chance at his own redemption arc. He had been dropped by Elektra in 1997 and was later signed to Atlantic, although he did not gain the success he was hoping for under the new label when he released This Ain't a Game in 2001. His biography mentions he was ready to see his career turn around. He said, when I was on with One Wish, he said, here we go. He said, I had to go independent, like the labels dropped me. I borrowed money from my mom and dad to start One Wish, and I had to pay a little extra couple $100,000 for the video. And I was treating it like it was a real record label because my mom gave me a loan, Ray J told Afrotech. It worked out in the long run, and that kind of started where I was just like, I either got to do it myself or it won't be done. That gave me all the energy to keep pushing independently and just run my own show from the jump and invest all the money we had to ourselves to really, see, he said, invest all the money we have to ourselves to really lead the pack and control the narrative, control the business, control the money, control everything. One Wish ended up being Ray J's first single to hit the top of the Billboard R&B chart, and it helped his third album reach $400,000 in sales at the time, per his web bio. The single is a certified classic and still in rotations on many playlists. The financial risk taken by his family paid off tenfold, as Ray J revealed he was able to earn back the money borrowed through the success of the single. He said, they took a risk on me and they still take risk on me, and I still have these really outlandish dreams and ideas that I'm putting together that sometimes sound a little far-fetched in the family, but they believe in me, and again, they gave me the money to start something because nobody was messing with me, Ray J explained. So that's an example of, you got to believe in yourself, you got to go independent, and you got to get out there. Them folks gonna offer you the world, gonna offer you the heavens and earth and everything in between. But in reality, you won't get it. It'll look like you have it, but then you won't get it. But if you do it yourself, you own your own stuff. Like I said, no matter what your race or ethnicity, what your sex is, what your sex is, male or female, owning your own is what's going to give you the freedom to be able to do whatever you want to do, and to make the money, and everything that go out comes back to you. And you don't have to pay people, you don't have to pay the middleman and the motherfucker and allow them to get rich while you sit there and starve and suffer. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.